Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, mute. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. This is the chair, Bethany Clough, and Leah. I think we're ready to go ahead and start the hearing. Let me see if I can share. I need to be able to share my screen, Leah.
There you go.
All right. Okay. All right, so you guys should be able to see a screen. All right, let's get. Can everybody see the agenda?
Yep, it looks good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to call the Central Board of Architecture Review October 9th, 2020 meeting to order. And I'm going to go ahead and are there any members, any public comment regarding an item that is not on today's agenda, Leah?
So it looks like we have 2 people in the attendees, one of which is an applicant. So I'll go ahead and move that person over. Charlie, did you have any public comment? If so, just go ahead and raise your hand. Madam Chair, I think you're good to go.
Okay, so the agenda status report.
I do not have any changes to today's standard agenda.
Okay, so the minutes of September 11th. Here are the minutes. Do we have any comments on item 1 here from the board?
Bethany,
Yes,
Chair,
Kath.
did we do a roll call? I'm on this funny link here, so I'm not even sure who all's here.
We didn't do a roll call, but I believe that Leah had already taken that.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so I'm not hearing anything on item 1, so let's go to item 2.
Hello, hello, my name is Gretchen Z. I'm the applicant for item 1. Can you hear me?
This is not the first item on today's agenda. This is the discussion of the minutes. So if you could go ahead and mute, we'll get to your item in just a few minutes. Just give us a few seconds. Okay, so Nicole, this was it was clearly identified where the lights will be mounted. They should be mounted below the height of the fence. That was the actual comment, was that they not extend above the fence, top of the fence.
Okay.
And I think they had provided the color details as to the color. The question was whether there was a two-toned or one, and we said just use the dark color from the San Ynez water tank. And so this probably is fine, but you could say use only the dark color from San Ynez water tank. I think that'll be clear for what we were doing. Okay, for 3, any comments from the board?
Yeah, this is Brett.
Yes.
I'm going to be taking this project over as the architect, so I wouldn't spend any time on this. The building's getting completely redesigned.
Well, okay, so just hold that thought.
I'll hold.
Yeah. We still need to do due diligence and make sure that
Okay.
that our comments are correct and represent what we said.
Well, just be kind.
We will be very consistent with what was actually said. And I think this actually is pretty much, this captures the,
I have one additional one. This is Robin.
yes, Robin.
You had asked that they submit inspiration images so that we had more of an idea of where they were going.
Okay, that can be added. Need to convey the overall architectural style, presentation of inspiration images could be helpful.
This is Cass. Maybe it would be helpful on that number 5 to say convey a consistent overall architectural style.
Well, do you think that's kind of redundant because?
Yeah, maybe. I just remember that this one was very
It was inconsistent. Yes, I know, but
yeah. But anyway, if you think it's fine,
I think if it says overall architectural style, that kind of captures the idea.
okay.
So. Okay, item 4. Okay, and 5. That was pretty short. Okay, 6.
How do you spell veranda? Does it have a H on the back?
Nah, that's more of an optional thing.
Okay.
I'll take it off.
The H. On number 7, could we just say appreciate changed proportions on the garage?
Yes. For number 8, I think we need to see, it's not details because that could be taken to mean that we want construction details, that type of a thing, to see detailing on it. I think we need to see additional information on the back patio, i.e. materials, location, whether there's walls, all of that kind of stuff. That's the kind of information we needed.
Also on number 9,
Yep.
the wording not sure about.
I think I was just going to say, I think that was because they had a wood fence and they were proposing wrought iron. We were unclear about how the transition between materials of fencing materials would be accomplished.
Would it be better to say, please further study and clarify fencing around the pool? or something like that. Or it is unclear what is intended for the fencing around the pool.
Yeah, hold on a second. How about, for pool fencing, clarify location and transition between materials.
Okay, good. That's kind of covered in number
Good, in
11.
number 11, yeah, you could kind of put those two together, Nicole, somehow.
But you were okay with what they were showing as far as were they identifying the material for the fencing? I can't recall.
It was very difficult because of, especially with that background photo.
Mhm.
It was very hard to find the information. And so in all honesty, there may have been more information there than we could glean.
Okay. Okay, got it.
On number 15, would it be better to say submit actual site plan instead of aerial view?
I think you could just take out proper and say submit a site plan instead of an aerial view.
Mhm.
And then you could say site plan to include.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think you say where it says number 13, need a more complete package, provide elevations and sections that are dimensioned and are quantifiable for all structures being permitted.
And also I would suggest saying, provide a complete package, including elevation.
Okay, you could change it that way. Yeah, that's fine. Provide a complete package, including, and then elevation and sections that are dimensioned and for all structures to be permitted. Because this had some other things going on.
Mhm.
Okay, I think that does it for that one. Did you get it, Nicole?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, and I think this is the last item. Okay, I think you can say that instead of BAR, it was not only BARs. This was the conclusion of staff as well. We discussed this.
Mhm.
And because I'm not sure it's our call as to whether it's an architectural projection. I think that's a staff finding.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think that no issue with a portion of the roof exceeding 16 foot, as this is a qualified architectural projection.
Okay.
And will not require a C-bar exemption. And I really want that in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes as amended. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any
I'll
further
second it.
discussion?
Robin?
Any further discussion from anybody? Okay. Leah, you want to do a roll for the minutes approval?
Okay, so sorry, I couldn't get to my mute button. Alan,
I'm here.
Robin,
Aye.
Lowell,
I'm here.
Bethany,
Aye.
Cass,
Aye.
Brett,
Aye.
and do we have Puck yet? Yeah, we do.
Yep. Yeah, I've been here.
Perfect.
Okay. I'll try and crunch quietly. Sorry, guys. All right. So, back to the agenda. Looks like, come on. What the heck is going on? I lost my agenda. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right. So, CBAR informational briefings. Does anybody have anything they need to get off their chest? All right. Any member recusals or ex parte that anybody wants to state right now for today's agenda?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
Peck. I have to recuse myself for the Omarosa Rancho Dezo item number 3.
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't know if this is the right time to say this, but I feel that item number 2, I feel that I will probably recuse myself from this item because I don't feel that this is something that I'm qualified to review.
Bethany,
Yep.
this is Peck. Did you hear me that I have to recuse myself?
Yes, from number 3.
Okay.
Got it. Cass, as far as, I mean, you can do that.
Or just maybe abstain from the vote or something. But-
Well, you can do that too. But as an appointee to this board, you're charged with reviewing things that come to this board.
Okay, well, I'll do my best.
That's all anybody can do. So that's what, do what you need to do, but that's kind of the basis for the appointment. Okay, so staff update. Nicole, do we have anything?
Yeah, I thought I'd just update you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I thought I'd just update you on a couple of things that are coming to hearing in the future. So on October 28th, the county PC is going to be hearing, a while back, there was a suspension of certain ordinance requirements related to COVID-19 that allowed things such as, the expanded outdoor dining areas and reduction on parking restrictions so that people could, so that businesses
could operate, right?
Yeah. So those were set to expire pretty soon. So on October 28th, they're going to take out the expiration language. And then, when the time comes for that to be changed, they'll come back and change the language, but they're basically extending those provisions on October 28th. And then a couple items, some of these are in your area and some of them aren't. The Central Coast Ag cannabis cultivation that's in Buellton is also going on October 28th. And then on November 4th, there's an appeal of I'm not sure, it's the Linda Thompson Revocable Trust Outdoor Cannabis Cultivation Project in Los Alamos is also going on November 4th. And I'm just kind of giving you a general update, even if it's not directly in CBAR area. There's
That's
also Key Site 3 is in the Orcutt area. that residential subdivision is going on November 4th as well. Those are just probably, you know, a few of the larger items that are coming forward to the Planning Commission coming up. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Okay, there's no consent agenda today. So for the standard agenda, item number 1, 20 bar 111 Brewer single family dwelling. I believe we have the applicant here, and we also have Eric. Eric, are you going to be sharing your screen, or are we going to be doing this? The applicant going to be doing it?
I have it on my screen. Can you hear me?
Yes, Gretchen. This is Gretchen, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I have it. I'm trying to share screen and it says host disable
Yep.
participant screen share.
Yep. So just hold on just a second. Let me get Eric. I think he was here.
Yeah, he said he was going to be here.
Yeah. Well, he's still here.
All right, Gretchen, I've just given you co-host permission, so you should be able to share your screen now.
Okay. Do you want, okay. Share desktop one, all right, share.
And while you're doing that,
Mhm.
Gretchen, I just need to let you know that the only thing you can present is what was actually submitted to the county.
That makes sense. Okay, I that's what I have. Okay, so open system preferences, I have to do, all right, now. There, can you see my plan here?
No, we're still looking at my agenda.
Okay. Well, I have my plan on my desktop, so hopefully that will come up when you need it.
Nope, we're still looking at my agenda.
Bethany,
Okay,
why don't you try stopping your screen, and then maybe it might make it easier for Gretchen to start sharing hers.
Sure. There we go.
All right, Gretchen, go
Okay.
ahead and give it another shot.
Okay, it's share screen, desktop share. It comes up with open system preferences, and I don't know what that's about, but I guess.
There we go.
Okay, okay.
Or no,
Right.
actually, sorry. I was looking at my screen. Sorry. No, I still don't have anything.
I don't know what it said. It's gone to my system preferences, and then it has a Zoom, and let's see if this Zoom will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. I don't know what that.
Okay, since Eric hasn't responded, I've gone ahead and opened them up, Leah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do a share on mine. So
Okay, Gretchen. So
okay, so we've
on her end, and then if you can just follow along with her and let her know where to go.
okay. So Gretchen, if you take a look at your screen, you're gonna see right now what is hopefully your site plan.
Okay, yeah, it's on my share. I see my, I think I see.
We got you. Okay.
Okay, all right, great. All right,
So
let me just
close that out.
these.
There you go.
Okay, is this good now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so there are 3 pages with mine, and they're numbered A1, A3, and A5.
So why don't you go ahead and get us in the vicinity and show us what you've got, present the project.
Okay, on the vicinity, I'm not sure if you can see. If I get up close, zoom in on mine, can you tell where this is? I mean, do you see where San Marcos Pass Road is on this vicinity map up there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so the little orange pin is the site, 2560 Pommel Drive.
Okay.
Okay, so let me get back to, okay, here, let's go to the site plan. The overall site plan is over here to the left. And what I've done is that there's a private road to the right where it's coming, it's called Tapadero Road. Do you see that? Can you see my finger or my selection? I can't tell what you can see.
Basically, whatever you see on your screen, and when you move the mouse, we see it. We are seeing exactly
Okay.
what you're doing. So just go ahead and do your
Okay.
presentation.
Okay, so this is Tapadero Road right here, okay? And that is a private road, and then there's another private road off to the left, which is Pommel Drive, the address. And there are two houses on this road. And our site then comes up this long driveway here, and then to the top, there's it's at the top of a hill, and there is an existing house there. And if you look down here, this is the existing house where I'm circling right now. And we are basically saving this portion right here, these 3 bedrooms and a bathroom, and 2 bathrooms, and then demolishing and rebuild and adding the rest. So when you see this little arrow here on the site, this is the new residence. Existing on the site also is over here, there is an old barn which was converted into a sort of like a little bedroom, and that will be removed. There's also a wine cave which is in elevation right here, and we will also be providing a pool equipment room down here, which will be underground, which will be seen right here. This is the hill at the elevation that the pool equipment room will be built, and that's the house above it, the new residence. And this is the elevation of the wine cave, the existing wine cave, with that western wing shown right here. And okay, so this is the existing house. All of this will be removed. And if you look carefully, you can see in red is actually where the existing house is. And so we will basically be filling this part up right here with essentially the program will be the same as it is existing, but in order to get our 16-foot height, we needed to just sort of redo everything. And so in this corner between the existing garages, this is an existing garage, which is a detached garage. We're adding an attached garage and then adding this whole bedroom suite here, so that it will be the new residence will be an L-shaped residence. Okay, I think, is that clear? Can we go on to the larger plan? I mean, let's go to the elevations now. Let's skip down to A5. Okay, what we have here, this property is so particularly beautiful because it just has like a 360-degree view. And so presently there's the eaves of the house, you really can't appreciate it at all. And so the client really wanted to open it up to the views. And so the views are primarily looking south. So if you see on the south elevation, the public areas are where we have the highest part right here of this complex of buildings. I mean, it's one building, but volumes. And that has, glass doors with windows above. And then
Gretchen, you might want to zoom in just a little bit.
Okay. All right, what I'm talking about now is the south elevation. Let me ask you, do you have photographs of the existing? I mean, has that been provided to you? I sent them in, and I don't know if you have them, just so you could get a sense of what the site is like. I have them sort of back in my computer. It would take me a while to get them. Do you have them? Oh, hello?
I believe exterior walls, inspirations.
Yeah, there's,
JPEG, that was submitted. And then
Okay,
there's
I
a
have-
series of residents' photographs as a PDF was also submitted.
okay, well, so I guess on those residence photographs, that's the existing building, so you could get a sense of what is
Well,
there.
if you want us to look at them, you need to show them to us.
Oh, I can't, it would take me so long to get those, so I won't. I mean, I won't get those. I have the inspiration photo, but I don't have the existing photos. I was just, this sort of took me by surprise that I would be doing this. So I don't have that right in my fingertips.
I do.
Is that,
So go ahead and finish
Okay.
your presentation and we'll come back to them
Okay.
at the end.
okay, well, let's just imagine this is all a new building then. I mean, it really stands on that. So basically what we're doing here is that the materials that we're using are a kind of, actually, here's the inspiration photo. I'll show that to you, okay? Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going, not the garage door, but the stone is what we're going to be using. And this stone has it's a cast stone, and what it has is a soft, to soften it, it's got a slurry of grout applied over it as well as in between the stones. So this is the material everywhere except, now I'll go back to except in this area right here, which is going to be metal, okay? And steel, it's black metal with steel doors and windows above that are fixed. So this chimney will be stucco and this wall will be stucco, but everything else will be stone. The windows that you see here are existing windows in the existing house. This one portion right here is all that remains, and that's been fairly recently remodeled. So we would like to keep that, and everything is going to be black, all the steel windows and doors, and so we will paint these black so that they will look like that. But all of this, although not rendered as such, is all that stone, okay? All the sort of grayish color right here is not stucco, it is that stone. So what we see here is the existing bedroom wing here, the public areas with the living room and dining room, and this is the kitchen area, and this is the bedroom area. And all right, if we sort of go back to the front now, let's do that, and we can see that, okay, that this volume, you just kind of understand this as one volume. This is that black steel volume, and this is a pivot door with clear glass. This glass is probably, we're thinking it's going to be a opaque black glass, or possibly not opaque, but translucent. And that is matching, here, let me pull down here, the garage doors here, which will be that same, it's almost like a curtain wall. It's that same kind of black glass, either the opaque or translucent black glass on an aluminum frame, okay? So that, this volume is all steel. This is shown, and then it has these overhanging parapets. This is it, in the distance, that's the back side of it. And the rest of these, this one, and all the garage elements are all the stone, okay? And so that they're sort of to be seen as separate volumes. Okay, then this, okay, so this is the existing house, this wing right here with their existing windows, and that would be a new door, which is matching these doors. Again, the steel door. and so that's pretty straightforward. The roof here is a metal roof, with a standing seam metal roof, black or very, very dark. And the idea here is this will have, you know, a black parapet or cornice. Here, these will all be just parapets. They're flat roofs. This is the standing seam. The standing seam on this side goes this way, and on this side goes that way. And let's see, we need to see the elevation on the back side, on the east side. So this is the eastern side, probably the side you really can't see this house. There's probably one place that you have to study very hard to get to see this house from below, the way the hills and roads are aligned. The topography doesn't really allow that. But what this is it's a little pop out for the tub. This is the bathroom, the water closet window. These are all 1, 2, 3 garage doors. This one is the garage door for motorcycles, and these two are for cars, so that he can open this up and not have because he would like to be able to use the garage and work in there on the cars, and that's he can open that up, have this great view, and not have all the doors open on the front side. And this is the original garage. However, it's now it's a ridge roof. It has a gable end, and so now this is a shed roof. So all the walls will be new in any case, because it's all going to be the stone veneer. So so that's it. That's all the elevations. Now maybe we can go back to the plan and you can understand how that works. I don't know what happened there with the strut. Anyway, this is the original part that I was talking about with the 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. Here is the entry. We're coming through here with the entry, and this is the large volume, the one that I said is got steel on the outside and all the steel doors here. Here is the kitchen. This is a game room and a media room with doors that can be opened or closed, participate with that room or not. And this is the existing garage, a new garage, a motorcycle garage, and this is all the master suite here. And this, just so I could fit this here, I think in a hurry, I sort of pushed this deck into here, which is not how you would see it on yours. This
Just a little
striping,
graphic aberration.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. So that's
So would you like me to share my screen, Gretchen, and show the photographs?
sure.
Okay.
Sure. So do
Hold
I
on a
have to unshare mine?
No, I'm gonna override you.
Okay. Oh, you have that power.
I do. Isn't it nifty?
I'm
Okay,
glad
hold
you
on
have
just
it.
a second. Just a second. All right, so let's pull this over here.
Hello, can you hear me? This is Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I had some technical issues. I'm calling in from my office right now. But yeah, I will be available
You're
if you
here.
have any questions from now on.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Thanks, Eric.
apologize. Yeah.
All right, so Gretchen, do you want to talk about which side of the
Sure.
house?
Sure. This is that portion of the house with the 3 bedrooms and the 2 baths that I said is existing. And this shows you shows you sort of that this is sitting on the top of the hill. It's really flat, the whole area. And I mean,
Okay.
then it looks out onto this fabulous view. So we are
And
keeping this, but of course, yeah.
Are you keeping the
Go
tree as
ahead.
well?
Yes.
Okay.
Keeping the tree. The project is removing 1 tree.
Okay. So
Okay,
here's
so, okay, then this portion is, actually see the tree in the upper right, the leaves, you don't see the trunk, but that is the tree we will be removing. We don't, maybe we won't remove it. It might not do well, but maybe it will. I mean, it's
You just have to mitigate for it. We got it.
Right. What you see in the distance here, this is a greenhouse, which will be removed. And then you see further in the distance here is the existing garage, which is going to get a new roof and new veneer on the walls.
That's
And
this
all
one
of
here.
no, this one, see where my arrow is?
No, we can't because we're looking at my screen.
Oh, okay. The middle, oh, right. The middle of
This
the,
one?
That's right. That's
Okay.
the garage. And then to the right of that is the a greenhouse, which will be removed.
That gets removed, right?
And then to the left, that's the existing house. All of that will be removed.
The portion that we're seeing, right? Okay.
That's correct. That's correct. Okay. All right. This shows the front of the house with the existing garage. It has a double car and a single car door. And you'll see that on the elevations as well. That is remaining with the new roof. All of this except that area, you know, you'll see that where that window is. That will remain.
So basically from here over gets removed and the greenhouse.
Exactly.
Okay.
And all of this landscaping, or, you know, these landscape features.
Sure. And there's your aerial.
Yeah, and you can see the existing barn turned into a kind of little extra room will be removed. Then the wine cave you see over there, right? And as you've seen on the plans, perhaps the swimming pool, that's not part of this permit, but
right.
That, yeah, and so that's occurring just about 10 feet away from the house, right?
And this is the end of the house that you're keeping.
Correct.
And you're removing all of this and the greenhouse and keeping the garage, correct?
That's right. That's correct.
Okay.
And that tree is the one that we'll see if, yeah, the
Okay.
one in the right corner.
Just like this.
Right.
So this is the section you're keeping. You're adding on a little bit. This is the part that gets demoed in red. And then the black is what remains, including the garage.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to ask the board if they have any questions directly for you, and then I'm going to call for public comment, and then we will come back to staff and you if we need to. But then we will start our discussion, and at that point, we're going to ask that you not participate and allow us to have our discussion, and then we will give you some feedback, okay?
Perfect.
All right, so any questions by the board?
I have a question. This is Robin.
Yes, Robin.
I'm wondering what the glazing on the main residence, what that will be like.
You mean, well, it's clear glass. Do you mean like where in the south elevation where we have all the doors with the windows above? Everywhere
The
except,
living room.
and yeah, that will all be clear. I mean, that'll be clear. The only place it is not clear is on the garage doors and on the panels beside the entry door and the windows above that.
Okay, and the transoms are also clear?
The transoms on the south side are clear and the transom on the north side is not. At the entry.
Thank you.
Although to Gretchen mentioned in her, I think Gretchen, you can confirm this. Gretchen mentioned in her presentation that it might be opaque, but the drawings actually state translucent black glass windows and side panels. So,
Yeah, yes, this is an ongoing thing, but
gotcha.
yeah.
All right.
But blackish.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question. This is
Yes,
Cass.
Cass.
Hi,
So,
Cass.
hi, Gretchen. So are you saying that it's a tinted glass? A tinted
Yeah.
black glass? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
Still
all,
unclear.
yeah. It doesn't have a film in it. It's tinted in, you know, when
Within
it's
the glass.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a film on the glass. It's the glass itself is tinted.
So it's a black glass that is translucent.
Yeah, I have samples of them. There's a sample that's black and it's opaque, and then there's also one that it's translucent. And we were not definite about which one we were. I mean, those two were the possibles.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. The, on the site plan,
Mm-hmm.
if we could, is it possible to go back to it?
Yes, sorry, Puck.
Do you want me to go back? to it,
No,
or
I've
you
got
can-
it.
Okay.
There
Do
we
you,
go.
Puck, you want the enlargement here or the site
The
plan?
enlar-
Site plan?
Enlargement, I guess, works okay.
There you go.
Oop. There we are. So I'm just curious. I know the pool is not under the permit. The sort of striped area, what was that again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. That will be a wood deck.
A wood
So
deck.
between the pool and the house is a wood deck. All of that area that you see in the partial site plan. is deck.
Okay. And I'm assuming, so I see all these doors opening out. And so I know the pool isn't part of it, but is there some transitional plan in case the pool isn't built that shows what those doors and everything would open up to?
Well, I mean, there is not. No, we only have this. I mean, he is actually planning to build the pool to construct the pool first. I mean, but that's the pool guy wants that under a separate permit.
Okay, I understand that. So the deck is really part of this project.
That's correct.
Okay. And I'm assuming that it will meet all the fire department requirements for a wood deck, because it looks like it's falling, you know, that it's falling away. Is it?
The land, you mean?
Yeah.
The grade does fall, and so it will be level though. I mean, it's not. I mean, it'll only slope to drain a little. I mean, that hasn't.
Well,
always worked
you've
out.
got a 3-foot change in elevation.
Yeah. So
That's
so
not falling gently. Go ahead, Puck.
I
Yeah,
guess
I know. Well, we'll have to bring that. I mean, we want that to be level, and so the ground will go below it, or.
I guess what I'm saying, Gretchen, is in the next round, because this project is like you said, it's a wonderful site in one way, and that you can see 360 degrees. But I believe on sites like this that are really literally kind of on a knob, that the building and the deck and pool it's very intentional how the grading is done. So it really feels like it's married to the land instead of just kind of the final cherry on the top of the cake.
No, I agree with you. And I mean, there will be, I'm sure in the end, just because of the foundations that there will be a grading plan with this to allow for that so that it does feel that
Sure.
it's
So
part of
what,
it. It's
what I'd like to
it is
see
a kind of
for
go
the
ahead. I'm
next
sorry.
submittal is, it doesn't have to be, a full civil plan, but a conceptual grading plan that shows all the intent of how this, the areas that you want flat, we can understand, oh, that's flat. Oh, this might have a retaining wall. Oh, this just drops off at a 2-to-1 slope. Whatever the intent is that you're visualizing in your head, which I'm sure is wonderful, you need to show that on a plan the next time.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if I can, I understand what you mean, and no, I appreciate that completely. If you can
This
kind of
is the, Gretchen, I'm going to stop you because this is just
Yeah.
a question and answer. It's not
Oh,
part
I'm
of the
sorry.
presentation.
Yeah.
So we need to move on.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Any other questions, Puck, or did you get your comment in there?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Hey, Bethany, this is Nicole. When you have
Yes.
a moment, maybe I can make a comment.
Go ahead.
Okay. I guess I just wanted to, about the pool. We see this a lot where applicants want to make the pool a separate part. But if the pool is shown on the plans, it's part of the permit application that's going forward right now, and it needs to be included in the project description. If it's going to be separate, then it needs to come in as a whole separate permit and not be shown on these plans. Obviously, it's okay to get separate permits at the building stage if they want to do that, but I just wanted to make that point for the applicant.
Well, here's a little thing for the planner, and I believe that's Eric. While it is possible for to pull a pool permit, the associated grading proposed is going to plonk it firmly, I think, back from the planning side. I think it's going to become a part of this project.
Right. Yeah. Really, what it needs to do is be a part of the project description for this project. And if the pool contractor says he or she wants it separate, then it can be separate at the building permit stage. They can do that. But as far as planning, it needs to be a part of this application.
Okay. Yeah, and this is Eric. I received opposite direction from that and was told that having them do the pool permit separately was okay. I do understand that the grading for the pool as necessary will have an implication on the site design and the design of the site in total, but I wasn't under the impression that they couldn't show the pool to kind of give a depiction of how the site would flow, even though the pool was under the separate permit and
Well, I
having
think
a note on the
what's
plan.
going to happen, Eric, is even if planning were to decide that they wanted to allow this to move forward separately, there's been an issue in the past with a whole lot of grading occurring around pool permits, and I think staff to capture that grading is going to want to see this as all together as far as processing on the planning side. That's just my impression of what has happened in the past. I think moving forward, as far as the C-bar is concerned, because it has such an effect on what happens with what the applicant has stated they intend to do with the grading here, I think what's going to happen is that we need to see it
Okay.
as part of this permit. And that's going to be our preference, because otherwise they're going to show us a bunch of grading, because the grading will have to be shown, the next time they come. And there's just going to be this hole in the middle of the plan, in the middle of the grading plan, where the pool is not shown, but just inferred. So it's kind of ridiculous at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, I've seen it done for projects as well that maybe don't have VAR attached, but I do see your point. And I actually, Gretchen and I have talked quite a bit about the timing on the pool So we basically knew this was going to be a comment that might come up. So I'm glad you mentioned it, and I'm waiting for it to just make your final round of comments. But I just wanted to weigh in there.
So for right now, though, I can tell you that it's going to look really silly if you keep this permit separate, because we will want to see the grading that is accommodating the pool.
Okay.
That's going to be a part of the submittal next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
sorry,
you
Eric.
guys handle it however you want to handle it on your side, but that's what we're going to want to see.
Yeah, Eric, I didn't mean to undermine any direction you may have received from your supervisor. I know sometimes North County does things a little bit different than South County, but I guess it sounds like CBAR is going to want to see it. But from a planning side, if it is going to be separate, then it shouldn't be shown on the plans, because these are the plans we're going to stamp, and whatever we stamp is what we're approving. So if they're showing a pool, we're approving a pool with the set of plans. So if the only thing I'd say is if you do end up doing it separately, then it needs to be taken off the plans.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you guys figure out the planning side, staff side. All right.
Yeah. And we're still in questions, right, Bethany?
We are.
Okay.
So does anybody else have any other questions, and can we move to discussion? All right. Kind of sounds like I'm assuming that nobody's like trying to frantically unmute themselves. Can we move to discussion? Puck, since you already started, I'm going to have you go ahead and start, and then we'll work our way through the board.
Bethany,
Yeah, Cass.
don't we have public comment?
I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
You're
Leah, do
welcome.
we have any members of the public who wish to address the board?
Madam Chair, I do not have any requests to speak.
Thank you. Thank you, Cass, for pointing that out.
Sure.
All right. Can you start us off?
Yes. I'm a little concerned about the amount of glazing, particularly to the south, that doesn't seem to, I mean, just in the winter, the low sun angle, and then in the summer, it's just been so bloody hot up here. How much shade, if you've done any solar studies to really see how much of an overhang, I'm just wondering between the transom windows and the doors, if there can be some kind of projected shade element that come in, and on some of the other sort of French doors on that same south elevation, if there is some mitigation for solar. I think it's also just because of the various elements. I think some 3D modeling would really help your case. I think it's an interesting solution. I'm just not sure about all of this glazing, and then again, just to reiterate sort of comments following up on my question, to have a sense of, a more informed site plan that really conveys how you want this new home to sit on that knoll. That's all I have.
Sorry, I muted myself. Cass, do you want to go next?
Okay, sure. There's a lot that I like about this. I think it's really interesting, and I especially like the stone, the cast stone. I think is really quite beautiful. I share Puck's comments and concerns, and I am concerned about the black glass. And just how that works with this wonderful sort of old world feeling stone. So I would urge you to, take a look at that again. It seems to me like more, clear transparency would be really nice. But again, concerned about the solar and the heat gain. So but there's a lot about it that I do like and appreciate. Also wondering if there are light fixtures, if those could be shown. Maybe you're just not to that point yet, or I forgot to ask that as a question. So yeah, I think a 3D model will be very helpful to understand it better. Yeah, I think that's all I have for right now.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I was muted. Thanks, Cass.
Mhm.
Brett?
Yeah, I agree with Puck and Cass on the heat. I think this is gonna really be a hot box if something isn't done to shade these windows. But it's an interesting project. I think when you come back, if you could depict your finishes better on your elevation so we can, see exactly what's what, namely the stone and the other finishes coming together, that would help a lot. And, but yeah, I think it's interesting. That's it.
Thanks, Brett. Robin?
I share the same concerns, and I also am concerned about light emission from all the glazing, and especially the clear glazing. And one of the questions I had is that I didn't ask, is any of the stucco remaining? And if so, what color would that be?
I
And that-
believe that Gretchen spoke to that. I think there was just a little bit of stucco. I think it's
And
on
then
the
my question
chimney.
is what color?
Gretchen, you want to answer that really quickly?
Yeah, I think that it would be sort of like the colors of the grout, that sort of puttyish color maybe. And
Okay, and it's located on the chimney and where else?
on the chimney and the front landscape wall.
This little wall here. Okay. Thank you, Gretchen.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Robin?
That's it for me. That's it.
Okay. Alan?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Lowell?
I would concur with Cass and Buck on the heat element on the south-facing walls. It is from experience, it's going to be tremendous, and I would maybe look at some type of a structure out in the pool area as well to provide some shade in that area. But overall, I think the plan is got great potential, and I like the colors and the direction you're going with the stone and the steel and the black and gray color tones. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. So Nicole, I'm just gonna say that I think the comments are pertaining to solar heat gain. We would like to see exterior lighting. There's, or at least, where the fixtures would be located, and those should be shown on the elevations as well as the plan. There was a comment about the clarity of the graphics, just to better, I mean, the elevations are annotated nicely, but the graphics on the elevations makes it a little difficult to kind of follow what materials are where. Also, there's a concern about and we need to see that grading plan. How will this proposal with the deck and pool or not pool shown, and as far as what grading is going to be done? Does that tie back into that slope that's tail?
Okay.
And this is a conceptual plan. It doesn't need to be, full on engineered, civil engineered type version, but it does need to be realistic. And I would basically concur on all the comments. So that I think concludes our review.
Bethany,
Yes.
excuse
Bethany?
me, sorry, I just want to be sure, I do have a concern about the black glass, and I just want to be sure that's in there someplace.
Yeah, I think, Nicole, you had comments about some support for the colors, but also
Yeah.
quite a few comments on the color of the glass and the extents of it.
Yes, I have all of that. Mhm.
Okay, Bethany? Excuse me, Bethany?
Yes.
This is Gretchen. I just wanted to point out there have been so many questions about the heat gain on that south side. And there are two projections. It doesn't really show up because there's no shading and so on, but
Well, I'm gonna let you address that when you return to us.
Well, it's on the plan. You can see it in the elevations now. I just wanted you to see that. I mean,
I think that's fine. But these are our comments and our concerns, and yeah, I can kind of see somewhat of a projection that you've got there on the looks like your roof
between
plan.
the transom.
So you need to just be clear about it when you present to us next time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks very much. And I think we're gonna go to. Oh, sorry. Let's go to.
So this comes
agenda.
back as conceptual, or you want me coming back with conceptual?
What's the pleasure of the board? How do we want to see this return?
Or, I mean, preliminary, I would prefer.
Well, I know what you would prefer. I'm asking what the board would prefer.
I would like to just see preliminary before we go to final.
Okay, so it sounds like, are the rest of the board okay with further conceptual and preliminary?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go, Eric.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 2, PG&E Red Rock Telecom Tower, 19 bar 220. Okay, do we have somebody here for that?
Yes, this is Eric again. I'm the planner on this as well, and I believe Halden Peterson is here with Terra Verde, or at least I saw his name a little earlier.
Yes, hello, board. I'm here. This is Halden Peterson here with Terra Verde, representing PG&E.
Okay, so Eric, are you going to do the presentation for us? Or
you're
having technical difficulties.
Yeah. So Halden, if you are able to share your screen, that would be great.
Or I can pull it up on mine.
Yeah, I'm happy to share. If you'd like me to, I was informed late in the game that I would be, but
that's okay. It's all an experiment.
Yeah, so I mean, I see your screen. I'm happy to continue with that, and I can kind of read through a project description as you kind of talk through what you're showing on your screen, if that works for you.
Yeah, give me just 2 shakes to get the plans up. Oh, I can get rid of that. Come on, my computer's running slow.
And Bethany, just so you know, the plans are a little split, and you pulled up the antenna detail right now, but there's a separate sheet with the rest of the plans as well.
Yeah, if you could start on this page, that'd be great.
Right here?
No, just the project description, that first narrative there, or you can look at the site plan there on the second page as I kind of narrate a little bit of the PD.
Well, why don't you get us located where we are vicinity wise?
Yeah, so geographically, we're atop a hill called Red Rock Mountain, approximately midway between Los Alamos and Buellton.
Do we have a site plan? Can you navigate me to the site plan?
So as Eric alluded to, they're a little split. I have maps that were provided, and I have those up on my screen if you'd like me to share.
Well, you can do that, or you can tell me where to go in the sets.
Yeah, so it's a different file. So if you don't have it up, then...
Is it this one?
No, it should be
No,
titled.
I think it's a different file. I don't know that I put it up with the rest of the C-bar information. I figured that the site plan he has now shows you where Drum Canyon is.
It does show
Uh,
Drum Canyon, but it's not zoomed out maybe to what you're looking for. Drum Canyon is that linear feature
Ah,
there.
wait, I've got it. Hold on a second. I know how to do this. Oops, sorry. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. Give me 2 shakes. How about this?
Perfect.
Yeah,
So that's really zoomed out. Okay, so this is Drum Canyon Road.
sure. Yeah,
And is this 246? Am I oriented correctly? Or is this up?
I think north must be kind of to the right, right?
It is.
Yeah, so yeah, Drum Canyon Road is where your pin is at, is the entrance to the site. That'd be the nearest residence location or the nearest address. The
Okay.
actual site itself is located about 1.5 miles to the east of that, up at one of the higher peaks there. So I think that would be down, right?
I'm going the wrong way. Sorry.
No problem. And I think right in the middle of your screen, there's a little white ridge top knob there.
Right there.
So I believe that's it. Yeah, that must be it. That little kind of cleared area there.
Not seeing anything. But anyway, that's our general.
General area, yeah, without a pinpoint, kind of the hills are blending together with me right now on a quick view. But yeah, so this project is a telecommunications project that's an as-built project. PG&E built this tower back in 2011. It's a 45-foot tower that's situated atop Red Rock Mountain within an existing telecommunications facility, an enclosed chain link fence area. PG&E has a lease with the property owner of this area, where back in 1986, they erected the original tower, which on that site plan there, if you zoom into kind of like the bottom left area of the facility. There's a tower that says 12 square feet in that bottom left area. That was the original tower on this facility. And this project has to do with the telecom tower that's labeled as 112 square feet there. That was built without the benefit of permits in 2011, and PG&E was recently informed of this with their construction up there. And so we're trying to retroactively permit this through the county. And so this site was previously disturbed within a chain link fence area. It's all been gravelled in the past, and no additional grading took place on the site. So there was no new disturbance outside of that chain link fence enclosure.
Okay, so let me ask just quickly. So PG&E is here for this tower, the 12 square foot one, but there's a permit violation because this was not permitted, the telecom tower. And so you're here to talk about that as well? Or am I not understanding correctly?
I can help you understand.
Thank you, Eric.
So that little where the gate is, that dotted line is PG&E's lease area. Everything inside that lease area, except for the 112 square foot telecom tower, is permitted. They built that one without permits, and so now they're coming back and retroactively attempting to permit this.
Okay, so
but the existing tower, everything else is permitted.
Okay, so the telecom tower is for PG&E's exclusive use, or is it something else entirely?
Correct, it's PG&E's tower.
Okay, just making sure I'm following along. All right.
So atop that tower, which is 45 feet tall, there are a total of 7 antennas of varying sizes. There are 4 6-foot antennas, and there are 2 omnidirectional antennas that are more linear shaped that are about 3 foot tall, and there's 1 3-foot dish antenna. And the maximum height on that is 40 feet for the mounting height of the highest 6-foot dish antenna.
Let's take a look at some pictures.
Yeah, certainly. And so if I could, so the pictures that you're looking at are when that tower was higher than what it is now. And that was our original.
So this is the new one?
This is the perfect example of what it looks like now. So the distant tower is 30 feet tall, and that was the original permitted tower. The 45-foot tower is the one that is in question at the moment. And there's another 60-foot monopole on site, which is a third-party facility.
And that is, if I remember the plan correctly, that's out here.
Correct.
Outside of, it's next to this little building here that's outside of the lease area.
Correct.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And so this is how it's on the ground. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to your drawings. So you want to explain what this drawing is showing us?
Yeah, so that's just a detail of the tower itself and the lattice structure and how it's constructed. And so if that's of value to you, that's basically just the steel structure itself. There is another file, which is the antenna height.
Okay. Let's see what I've got. Okay, so that's the end of that one. So what I have is this one, which is antenna detail.
Sure. So that, pardon me.
Go ahead.
So that's a graphic of the sectionalization of the tower itself and showing where the antennas lie per each of the, if you want to call it a quadrant. Section E in the bottom right there shows that there's 4 antennas at varying heights between the 30 and 40-foot mark. And the highest antenna, there's 2 antennas at the 40-foot mark. One of them is that 6-foot dish antenna, and the other one is an omnidirectional linear antenna that's also at 40 feet. So those would be the highest features.
Okay. So, Eric, those are the 4 files I have. I have the antenna detail, which is the one we were just talking about. I have old photographs, new photographs, and project plans.
Yeah, and the reason I included the old photographs, again, there wasn't a great way when I talked about this with my team in our planning department a while back. There was not a great way to, I guess let me debrief. If you go down in the old photographs, you can see a picture that they took. I think it's kind of important for you to see from Drum Canyon Road, which is the nearest public viewing area, and a little further down. And that was back when the tower was at 65 feet. And I mean, I went out to the site myself. It's basically invisible. It kind of just looks, because it's just a lattice tower, it goes down. But it was a CUP, and it's technically a new structure, so CBAR was required. And so we're here just to kind of get some
scrolling.
comments.
Here we go. Is this the one you were talking about?
Exactly. So that's basically as close as you can get to that tower from the public road without having to go on private properties. And as you can see, it was really difficult for me to find when I was out there without the use of this picture.
Okay, and now this picture, this is the old 65-foot height, correct?
Exactly.
And that also is the nearest residence to the location. If you're curious about sites maybe from the other direction, there aren't any other residences that I believe can see this location. We did a 1.5 mile search or more, and this was the closest and almost only residence in the area.
Okay. All right. So does that conclude your presentation? Can we go back to the board and talk about some questions?
Sure, happy to take any questions you have.
Okay. Does anybody on the board have any questions?
Yeah, this is Brett. This is more a question to, I guess, you, Bethany, and but as far as reviewing this, we're just looking at citing maybe, and that's it.
Well, it's like any other as-built.
No, but in terms of what this is, I mean, the aesthetics of it are a given, and you know, it's I'm not really sure why we're looking at this.
Well, it's just like any other telecommunications facility. So, if we're looking at the siting, as you said, also, does it fit the site, aesthetically, as far as, what they have going on, just like the other telecom projects that we've looked at, several recently, and are weighing in on the appropriateness of those things. I have a question for Eric, actually. Brett, I'm going to come back to you in a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think it'll start to clear up here for everybody, I'm hoping. Eric, can you, I understand that it's just the tower, the unpermitted one, everything else was covered by a permit. And the 94 square foot building and others, these other things are outside of the lease area for PG&E. What is the situation with the permit as far as, did all of this stuff come to us before, or was this not a CBAR review?
The file, like Halden said before, was pretty old and limited in what we have in our own records. I'm not totally sure what went to CBAR, but it got done with the development plan when I believe CBAR was already created. So I would imagine it would have had to gone through CBAR.
Well, that's perhaps not exactly true, because it all depends on on a bunch of things. I don't remember looking at this, and of course my memory's not infallible.
And this whole thing got done back in the 80s.
Well, that does predate certainly the existence of CBAR specifically. It predates my tenure on any BAR, back when it was one for the whole county.
I have to say, I think I go back the farthest for just BAR, and I don't remember this.
Yeah. No, and I'm gonna guess that it's the fact that this is a telecom tower is why it's coming to us at all. Okay. Well, I have one question for the applicant, and that has to do with, let me just zoom out here and go to the appropriate page. This actual, the actual 45-foot structure, is there any lighting attached to the structure itself?
No, there's no lighting currently, and there's no plan to put lighting on it.
Okay, so, all right. If nobody else has any other questions, and we can come back to them if something pops up. I'd like to see if there's any public comment. Leah, do we have any public comment for this?
I do not have any requests to speak.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off on the board comments and then just opine a few things and see if everybody else is kind of with me, and we'll go from there if that works. All right, so because this is as built, of course, we're looking at something that's already here. And when we look at as built, we are looking, we still have to make the same findings, and it's obviously the project has to have the same rigor, review and standards as if it was coming up for just a review pre-fabrication. I will say that as far as color and the laciness of the structure, for me personally, it disappears into the sky the best that it can. And given the fact that it has no lighting on it, I really don't have any issues with it as it stands right now. There's doesn't seem to be, there's been no additional disturbance, of course, and the tower's there outside of the chain link. So I don't see any need for any further vegetation or anything like that. So my question would be, does anybody on the board have a differing viewpoint as to?
I just want to say that this is Puck, that I concur with your views that you just expressed. I think the way we mitigate towers in other areas, making them water tanks or whatever, works in populated areas. But the way, like you said, the treatment of it now, it disappears as much as it can. And I guess that is our purview, is to make them disappear. So that's my comment.
Okay, Cass?
Well, as I just don't see, I appreciate Brett's comments. I just don't see where we have anything to say about it. So I guess I'm just got a big question mark over my head as to why we're looking at this. This has to be the way it is, or we won't be, it's part of our infrastructure, and it has to be this way. I don't think we have a lot of choice about anything about it, really. I don't.
I think Puck's comment and basically mine are to the fact that I really wouldn't change it in any way from what it is. I would just leave it the way it is.
Yeah, no, I'm not I'm not disagreeing with you there. It's just, it is what it is, and it has to be that way, or we won't be getting the services that we need. So I just don't quite understand what it is that we would do to change it, or even if we could. I mean, it's different than when we were looking at those the phone tower, where it was hidden within an actual architectural structure that looked like a water tower.
As Puck alluded to, I mean, just because it's as built doesn't mean that we can't say no. We can't make our findings, and you need to make it look like a water tower, or you need to make it look like a monopine.
Mhm.
My comment, and I think Puck's, was that that's not really what we wanted, the direction I would choose to go on this site. I would leave it just like it is.
Oh, no, I wasn't trying to imply anything like that. I'm just saying that when we have a situation where we are looking at a structure, then we have something to say about it. But this one, there really isn't anything to do about it.
Okay.
I don't believe. So I appreciate your comments. You guys are all much more familiar with these. You've dealt with them before. This is just kind of new to me as a newer member of the
So-
board.
So I guess what I'm trying to tentatively get you to express an opinion on is, do you concur with the previous comments that it is acceptable as it is?
Yes.
Okay. Brett?
Yes. Am I there? Oops, yeah, you can,
Yes.
yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Robin?
I concur.
Alan?
I agree, but I have a question of staff, if that's okay.
What's your question, Alan?
Okay, if this was a new this is the staff, if this was a new project, and I realize this is way out, away from 1.2 miles from a road or whatever. If this was a new project, would the people who live or work nearby be notified somehow? That's my first question. And the second question is, because this is an attempt to permit after the fact, do they still have to be notified? That's it.
Yes, they have been notified in accordance with our noticing requirements by the county, as well as CBAR requirements for noticing. So they are required to be noticed. We treat this like it's a new project. So anyone who needs to be noticed, who lives within the distance, with I believe a 300-foot distance of this property, has a notice that says that there is an as-built telecom tower that needs to be permitted, and they would have received, I believe, as well a notice for this review by CBAR.
Okay, thanks. And one more thing, Bethany, who's voting today?
I think it's Lowell. Actually, it's nobody because I think we have a full boat.
Okay,
So there's 5 of us, me, Puck, Cass, Brett, and Robin. So as long until Puck is recused from her item, in which case I think it'd be Lowell. Remember correctly. So I'm going to nominate Lowell for today. Lowell, did you have any comments or did you concur with what has
I
been expressed?
concur with
Okay.
I concur with everyone else. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to go back here to the agenda. This one here is for conceptual review. Eric, can you bring this back preliminary final on consent?
I can. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I think that concludes item 2. Let's go to item 3, 20 bar 109 Rancho de Zo, new single family dwelling. And I believe Puck is going to be put into the holding room for this item. And we'll return when we come back to item 4. Do we have anybody who's going to be doing the presentation, or is it going to be Ben, or do I need to do it? I just need to know.
Yeah, this is Josh. I will be able to share my screen.
Okay.
I'm going to do that right now. Oh, I need to, I think I need to be allowed
Yep,
sharing. I'm logged in twice, so I think it's going to be, it would need to be my computer, which I think is Josh Nieves, not Joshua, I believe.
Okay, you should be good to go.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, she gave them you both, so.
That's fine. All right, let's hold up, almost there.
There you go.
All right, you can see it?
Yep. And
All right,
I just
excellent.
need
So
to
we,
I just need to say one thing, 2 things actually, before you you get going here. And that is I think that I need to read the minutes from the last hearing. I don't think there were any changes.
Bethany, there's a tiny change about the 16 foot. So I'm happy to read them as well if you want.
Yes, why don't you go ahead and read the minutes for me,
Okay.
Nicole?
So comment 1, great project, beautiful and simple, good building for the site, well presented. No issue with the portion of the roof exceeding 16 feet, as this is qualified as an architectural projection that meets the criteria to exceed 16 feet and will not require a C-bar exemption. And that's it.
All right, Josh.
I'm sorry, what was that?
And do your presentation, and we will just let you kind of go through it, and you probably won't hear anything from me unless you start to lag. And then I might kind of goose you along a little bit. But other than that, we're going to let you do your presentation, and then we'll come back, maybe ask you a couple of questions if we have any, do public comment, and then we'll do our deliberations. All right?
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. You're on.
Yeah, so we presented back in September, so I'll be brief, but this is, the landscape where the house will be located on this hillside right here. I'm going to the next page. The ownership has ownership over 3 parcels. Our residence will be located at the southern end of the front parcel, which fronts Santa Rosa Road. Buellton is just off to the east, just a little bit. The front parcel, a little bit further zoomed in, some site photos just showing, kind of its immediate context, its distance from Santa Rosa Road. And then on this site plan, we're just showing kind of the private drive that would take you back to that hillside where the house is located. The conceptual design of the house has remained the same as it was presented in September. Simple shedding roof towards the west, and a cruciform shaped house with a protected turf lawn and landscaping around. Floor plan exactly the same as it was before. It's a 2-bedroom house with a kitchen in the center and then a great room towards the east. Elevations have been updated since the last time. On these sheets, we have a runner of our materials, all naturally weathered materials, whether it be steel or cedar or a mixture of concrete and plaster. Windows and doors would be dark metal. It's aluminum wood clad windows. So just a little zoom in on a few of these elevations, just to get a sense of the nature of the project. And we still, I'll show the other elevations as well. Just noting off, materials. The palette is fairly simple, as it's shown down there, and then we still have the 3-dimensional views for a better reference of the house and how it looks, the materials associated with it, and its siting in the landscape. Keep moving along. The roof diagram, which we discussed last time, just showing that small portion of roof that exceeds the 16 foot. New drawings since concept would be, we are showing our overall lighting plan. The lights worth discussing are the H lights and the G lights. So these would be down lights over outdoor patio spaces, single monopoints. So we have 4 off the patio, off the main living zone, 1 adjacent to the main entry door, 1 above a door to mechanical and trash zone off the carport, 4 underneath the overhang for the kitchen sunset viewing deck. Look at it there. and one off the primary bedroom deck. All these are under the overhang of the main roof. And then two more off of wall off the dining zone adjacent to the doors on either side. We have a few step lights, one located right here that's recessed into the facade of the house, and then another also right here. Just discrete lighting, so you can find the door without tripping. So the H lights are these monopoints, discrete, small. They're going to be matte black to match the windows and doors. And then the step lights, you know, these small little squares that just recess into the facade of the house. We're also showing all of our building sections as per the requirements. Don't know if we need to get too heavily into these drawings, but just give you a better sense of, you know, the nature of the house, the low slung roof, and, you know, it's conforming to the hillside that we're proposing the house to be set on. And then we have some more technical detailing, just showing, you know, wall to roof assemblies, windows, some understanding of, you know, whole envelope assemblies and structuring, as well as more detailed drawings for the various window conditions and a few other exterior details for siding. Still leaving in this presentation some of our precedent images as we showed off before, you know, small weathered buildings in the landscape, you know, weathered materials, natural materials, fire resistant materials, character of inside the space, and then our materials board, which is, you know, small amount of materials, concrete and plaster, wherever our walls kind of like hit the landscape, and then wood and weathered steel for everything kind of above that datum, and then matte black materials or ebony finishes for the windows and doors, as well as the hardware and the light fixtures. That concludes the architectural elements. We have some updated landscape that I'll let Scott discuss as I'll keep control of the screen though.
All right, thanks Josh. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the irrigation plan that we've noted all the hydro zones with our Muello calculations, which are shown on the bottom left there. All drip zones minus the lawn area, which is in the color green there. That will be the only overhead spray. But yeah, color coded reference notes indicating drip zones, spray zones. So, and our calculations are shown on this as well.
Sorry, I'll move to the next page. Yeah, it's a little slow, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So this is our updated planting plan, very similar to our conceptual and preliminary plan. Obviously just more detail in the plant selection. Again, keeping it pretty natural and low. Want to maximize the views that we have from the home there, and just kind of tuck it into the existing landscape and natural surroundings. We do have a lot of natives.
You might want to zoom into various portions because right now we can't see it. And talk about the components, you know, what you've got in containers and how it relates, all that.
As far as the plant material?
Correct.
Yeah, so as you enter the house, we have some rows of grasses. That's the Muhlenbergia dubia mixed in with some lamandra. So those are sort of lined up against the home, sort of accenting the architecture, and some massing. A couple different hatches that are in front of that are a mixture of some low perennials and grasses as well. Towards the edges, that's where we have the larger circles there, the CC, that's the ceanothus. There's the sages that are in there as well, along the edges of the massing of grasses and lower perennials. And then as we move towards the back, next to the lawn, similar with our sort of low vegetation that wraps around the edge of the lawn. And then looking out the noted cistern area with the sort of dashed line around it, that's where we do have some of the larger shrubs to help provide some screening, mixed in again with some of the Muhlenbergia deer grass, help soften that as well. And similar plant material throughout and wrapping the whole house. And so again, yeah, just wanting to keep it pretty minimal and tie into the natural state of what's out there. And then our last page, oh, actually, before I move on, we do have some lighting. There's a couple path lights that are sort of that blue circle. Do have some cut sheets that show what that fixture would look like, as well as with the LED fixture that would be inside that. The fixtures will sort of tie into what Josh had covered on their architectural fixtures. We have circled in red boxes the selections kind of per the light and spread, canopy path, and all for the lighting. And then our schedule, which indicates all the plant material. Last sheet here is details, sort of irrigation controller, backflow, planting, pretty standard. And that would conclude the presentation for the landscape.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay, I'm not hearing anything from the board. So, Leah, do we have any public comment?
Madam Chair, I do not have any requests to speak.
Okay. So right before I turn it over back to the board for our discussion, they are here for preliminary and final today. So with that in mind, Kath, do you have any comments?
I do not.
Okay, Brett?
Nope, let's approve it.
Robin?
Good project.
Okay. Alan, did you have any comments?
No, I'm good to go. Thanks.
All right, Lowell? Do we still have Lowell?
It looks like Lowell's still with us, but he's muted. Lowell, can you unmute yourself?
Apparently we're having technical difficulties. So Leah, why don't you go ahead and you call the vote? Go ahead and include Alan as the voting member. All right. So I would like to make a motion for preliminary and final. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
That was Cass. All right. Any further discussion? Okay. Leah, call the vote, please.
Robin?
Aye.
Cass?
Yes.
Brett?
Aye.
Alan?
Yes.
Bethany?
Aye.
And just in case, Lowell, do we have you? Okay, I'll have Alan as
Yes,
participant.
yes, I am here. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. We got Alan's vote, so.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so they're good to go. Let's go to item 4, facility solving. And I will go ahead and start sharing the screen. Oh, okay. So, and this project is here for final approval. And that while I get the rest of the stuff up on here. And Nicole, before we get going, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and read the minutes from last time. If you want to go ahead
Okay.
and do that, you can.
Sure. Yeah, let me open those up.
Okay. Oh dear.
Okay. So okay, so comments are clearly identify where the lights will be. They should be mounted at the height of the fence. Ensure consistency throughout plans. Provide 4 toyon on the eastern elevation. Can eliminate toyon on the south. Provide specific color details. Use only the dark color from the San Ynez water tank. And it's a preliminary approval on the condition that the dark color from the San Ynez tank be used. And those are the comments.
Okay. Can you read the first one again? You zipped in and out.
Sure. Clearly identify where the lights will be mounted. They should be mounted below the height of the fence. Ensure consistency throughout the plans.
Okay. All right. So we have an applicant here.
You know what? I don't see Trisha with us.
I've tried emailing Trisha several times. She was standing by. So, oh, there she is. I think
Oh, there she is. Perfect.
Okay.
Good morning.
So, Trisha, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Would you like to, do you want, we've seen this before, so you want to direct me to whichever, I'm sure you know the comments. Did you want to just kind of go through and check off you're addressing the comments from last time?
Sure. So let's see. First thing we wanted to ensure was that the work light was below the fence line. Last time we had a little bit of the light peeking up over the fence. So if you could go to page A5 of the drawings.
Okay. A5, I just went by it. There we go. Okay. I see a light, which is good, except for right there. Perfect.
Yep. So you'll see the light on detail 4 is below the fence. And you also wanted to see details on how it was going to be attached. So if you could go to page A8.
There we go.
You'll see on detail 7 that it's going to be a pipe mount, but it will be completely below the fence line.
I think the other comment was basically the dark color from the San Ynez Tower.
Well, it's actually not. So what happened last time is that you saw the San Ynez Tower. We read comments about the color options that you were giving to myself, the applicant. The property owner, if you remember last time, was part of the call. So you'll see the photo sims that you have before you. And that's the color that she really liked and preferred over the San Ynez tank. The San Ynez tank is quite a bit lighter, and it's also varied from the legs to the tank. And she really liked this monotone color. And you had agreed in your last comments that it was possibly an option for it to all be one color. So this is the
Correct.
color that we're trying to go for. And so you'll see that we have
Well,
some
I
colors.
think what our minutes said was all one color, and then it should be the dark color from Santa Ynez, I think was what we'd said.
Okay, so this is the dark color that we're going after. And so if there's a color template that I sent over, there it is. And we are looking at, sorry, let me get there too. We were looking at the second to the last row, all the way on the left-hand side, either Jericho brown or the Ravenwood. One is just a little bit, the Ravenwood to me is a little bit darker, but we also have the option of even going really dark on the last row with the Alcazar brown or the black burgundy as well. But that color family is definitely what I think would look best.
Okay. All right. So basically what you're going to ask us is pick one. You'll do it.
I was hoping for that. Yes.
Hey, we can do that.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to come back here to the plans, and I'm going to just flip through and just kind of make sure that we were looking at basically the same thing we'd seen before.
Okay.
Was the toy-on, and I'm sure I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, that's right. I did skip that part. Yes, I can
No
leave
worries.
you there if you need it.
No worries. Okay, so here we've got 4 toy-on and nothing on the south side.
Yes.
Okay. And there's your other plans, and okay, and no light sticking up. That's good. There we go. That looks good. There's your fence. Okay. Okay. I think we're almost all the way through. There we go. This is the landscape plan. Okay. All right. So that looks good. Do we have any members of the public, Leah?
We do not have any requests to speak.
Okay. Then I'd like to come back to the board and see if everybody wants to weigh in on your color choice here. Robin, why don't you start? You usually like to pick colors.
Which color was it that the owner proposed?
The owner, if you look at the photo sims, there's not an actual color. This will be something that we were choosing at this stage. So we're trying to match the photo simulation that you had seen a little bit earlier. So the owner liked the darker brown versus the lighter brown. And so we believe that the bottom 4 on the color chart are the family that we're looking at.
Did you talk to the owner about these 4?
Yes, she doesn't have a preference. These are dark enough for her.
Okay.
And so I like Jericho brown, but that's just me.
Okay. Robin?
I'm fine with any of them. I think darker is better as far as the one in Santa Ynez. So I think any of these 4 I'm fine with.
Okay. Brett?
Yeah, I'm good with that too. Did you hear me?
Yes, I did, Brett.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Cass or Puck, do you have a preference, or any of those acceptable?
You know, color is a real personal thing. I have a lot of trouble with these mauve-y kind of colors, but
Well, we're looking at these 4 down here in the corner.
yeah, I know, but they still
Okay.
end up being kind of purple, but that's okay. I'm just I any of them are really, I think the black burgundy is maybe those are a little too dark, but I'm fine with any of them.
Okay.
Those 4.
Cass?
I agree. I would let the owner pick whichever one they like the best. If it was me, if I was picking, I would probably pick the Ravenwood, but I think any one of them would be fine and let them pick
Okay.
what they like.
Alan?
I'm good with any of the four.
Okay, Lowell?
I like the Ravenwood.
Okay. So how about this, staff? Do we have staff here for this one?
Yeah, this is Tina Mitchell. I'm the planner.
Okay, Tina, for purposes of your permit, can we just narrow it down to Jericho Brown or Ravenwood and either is acceptable?
Yeah, that would be fine. Once they have the actual color picked out, they're gonna have it printed on the plans, so I'll just make sure it's one of those two.
Okay, that works for us. Okay, so I think that concludes our questions and stuff. Can I have somebody make a motion for this project? Believe it's here for final.
I'll make a motion for final approval with
Okay.
color comments.
Okay, and I will second. Any further discussion? Okay, I'm sorry, who was that?
No
Right.
one.
Okay, so no further discussion. Leah, can you call the roll? And I believe we have a full vote again, so both Alan and Lowell are not voting today, right now.
Oh, sorry, I was talking to myself. Let's see, Robin?
Aye.
Oh, you know what? Lowell and Ellen are not participating in this vote anyways. Brett?
Aye.
Cass?
Yes.
Puck?
That was you, Puck.
Sorry, I'm
And Bethany.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right, so there being apparently no further business, I would like to make a motion to adjourn. Can I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good
Okay.
weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Leah.